Hi, this is Fred Moreau, and in this video I'm going to touch on how you can speed up the process of batch rendering in 3dsmax. If you're not already familiar with batch rendering, I suggest that you watch the batch render tutorial available at adversoftware.com. Now, back to the scenario of that freelance 3D artist with his USB key designer who wants two different designs rendered in three different colors over two different backgrounds and in three different positions on cameras. It's easy to realize that setting up 36 batch render jobs can take a bit of time. And that is what I've designed the batch render wizard for. Let's see how we can set up those 36 renders in the less possible time. So first of all, let's go into the installation of the batch render wizard. All you gotta do is go into Max script, run script, and then go and locate the batch render wizard.mzp file that you've downloaded. You should have 3dsmax 9 at least, as it doesn't work on previous versions. Then you can click next. You should agree to the end user license agreement if you want to use it. Then you have a few options here, such as putting the batch render wizard shortcut into the main menu in a new Adverse Software submenu, which is here. You can also put it in the main menu in the rendering submenu and in the rendering quad menu. And you're now going to find a new batch render wizard option here, and also in the Adverse Software menu here. And when you hold Control Alt and right click in the scene, you get the lighting and rendering quad menu. You will find a batch render wizard option here. The first thing that I've done in here was to use a bit of scripting to create all these different combinations. But that isn't the topic of that video. From there, what you want to know is how to create the batch rendering for these three cameras with all those scene states very quickly. So I want to get into the batch render wizard. And the first thing that you can notice is the first time that you run the batch render wizard, it's probably going to tell you that your 3dsmax root directory should be added to your path environment variable for the command line batch rendering to work. And then this is going to be done automatically for you. Now, batch rendering, the first thing that you need to define for batch rendering is the output path. So this is what you do here. You can locate the output path. By default, it will default to your project folder and to the render output sub folder. If you right click on the button here, it will open the folder as a Windows Explorer. Then you can also choose a file type here from PNG, TGA, JPEG, and so on. If the file type that you want isn't in the list, or if you're using like a custom plugin, or if you want to get into the advanced setup, then you can also click on advanced setup and then choose your folder, type in whatever dot the file name that you want to use. So for example, if you wanted to do like a dot fxr, for example, that is not in the list, you could do that, and then choose your options in here, and then this is going to go this is going to be grayed out. And otherwise you can also say that you want to do something like a dot png, and then choose your options, and then it's going to get back to the png. The drop down list that you have like right underneath that is the file naming conventions. The file naming conventions allows you to choose between the different naming conventions that are available that have been saved in your INI settings. By default, you will find the name of the scene as a folder in which you're going to find name of the render preset dot name of the scene state dot name of the camera. For more information about these special tokens here, you can click on the help button, and you will see the naming convention tokens, such as the name of the project, name of the scene, state, cameras, presets, but also the width, height, aspect, start, end, and file extension. So it's pretty much covers every usage that you may want. For example, if you were doing something like really insane, you could use all these tokens in your file name, and then you would get something like this. what you have right underneath that is the preview of the naming. So you can see that there the file name is called Batch Render Wizard Demo. So it's going to be scene, so Batch Render Wizard Demo \, so it's a new folder, and then it goes into name of the render preset dot name of the scene state dot name of the camera dot png as the file extension that we've chosen. Now what you want to do is potentially you may not need the name of the preset, so I can say I want to get rid of the name of the preset. For example, I just want name of the state dot name of the camera, like that, and you can see that. And I can also click the save button, and so I click as I click in the save button, this now goes in the list and it's going to be saved in the INI settings, so every time that I run the Batch Render Wizard, it's going to be there again. If I want to edit this, I can also get into the settings, and in the custom settings you can see that there are other options for changing these and also changing different namings like that. Now what I want to do here is make different combinations of my scene states and cameras. There, the first thing I'm going to do is pick up the ISO camera, and I'm going to choose the all the stand flat scene states combinations, and I'm going to say that I want to use the render preset without any distortion. That's it. It's that simple. If I'm not sure about the batch render dialog, it may contain some previous batch rendered. I can empty it like real quick. So even if there's like hundreds of batch renders in the list, it's going to be emptied automatically. And now all I need to do is add selected combinations. And as I open this, you can now see that I've got these names. So the names are pretty long, so that is just to make sure that there's no there's no conflict, any conflict possible between two different batch renders. And you can see that I've got everything set up with the ISO camera. The output path is been set up automatically, and I also have the distortion off preset here, and all the different scene states have been set up here. Now all I want to do is use the stand flat camera, and this time with the distortion on, and I'm going to go again and say add selected combinations, and then I can pick up the stand up, and this time I'm going to go and pick up all the stand ups here. I'm going to say add selected combinations, and as I open here, you can see that I've got all my 36 batch renderers available. I can render them using my network rendering. I can export them to a batch file, and I can render them out. And the nice thing about this is that this is saved within the scene, so every single time that I open up the 3dsmax file, it's still there. So for example, if my designer comes and say, well, you know what, actually this is not that big, it's more something like that, and it's more something like this, and maybe more something like that, then I'm like, yeah, alright, no problem, I can change that, and then all I got to do now is just get back into my batch render dialog and hit the rounded button again and just go for lunch or something, and it saves me a lot of time. That pretty much covers everything about the batch render wizard. Till next time, thanks for watching.